Gaza immediately. Trace?
Nate Foy live for us on the ground in northern Israel. Nate, thank you. Let's bring in former Green Beret who trained with Israeli Defense Forces, Derrick Anderson. Derrick, great to have you on here. So the fighting could really begin at any moment here, but clearly the Biden administration is pushing Israel to go easy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the Biden administration should probably see the looks on some of these hostages' faces as they're being released from Hamas. You know, Trace, it's really interesting to see what Hamas's PR campaign and narrative is right now. You know, if you look at the Hamas soldiers as they're transferring the hostages from their vans over to the Red Cross vans, right? They're in their uniforms. They've got their bandanas on. They've got their faces covered, which I would argue, why don't they uncover their faces? Show the world who you are. And, you know, you look at the faces on these hostages as they're being transferred over. You know, we've seen some of the hostages that just have these grim faces staring the Hamas terrorists down. We see some of them pushing their hands away. We see some of the Hamas terrorists trying to carry the elderly out. That is their narrative they're trying to push right now. And as we're starting to get the recounts of all these hostages day by day, we're starting to see some of the terrible things that these Hamas terrorists did to these hostages while they were in captivity.
Yeah, meantime, you've got this kind of battle raging on between, you know, the Houthis, the rebels, and the other Iranian proxies. And I want to play this soundbite from former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo about this administration backing off on calling the Houthis a terrorist organization. Watch.
I can't imagine why the administration, literally hours after they came into office, undid what I had done and said, no, these folks aren't terrorists. It was counterfactual. Right. And frankly, now we can see counterproductive, too. They're back at it, taking risks and killing people again.
Yeah, but they fit the definition of a terrorist organization here, Derrick.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these are the same organizations. The Houthis have been firing rockets. We've seen the weaknesses on behalf of the Biden administration. It's just ridiculous. And again, this goes down to national security and how we are projecting weakness throughout the world right now. If we continue to project weakness, we're going to see these kinds of acts. I think, you know, Trace, I think we're roughly, 70 plus attacks on American installations since October 7th, right? So we're looking at least 1 to 2 attacks per day. And the only recourse we've seen by the Biden administration, and there's a few attacks here and there, and from all accounts, on buildings and installations that have no value. So what we're seeing is a weak hand by the Biden administration. It's kind of like having a bully. If a bully keeps pushing you every single day and you don't do anything back, that bully is emboldened to continue to do what you're doing.
Yeah, they're throwing, they're shooting bullets and we're throwing rocks. Derrick, great to have you on as always.
That's exactly
Thank you.
right.
Meantime, 47 days now till the Iowa caucuses, and again today, GOP presidential